Okay. So if you remember, guys, we were discussing your stateful inspection, right? We were discussing the stateful inspection. So let me just tell you something. Okay. Let me just show you session detail. How my firewall used to create a session. Let me just show you the session details. Okay. So just don't worry about this configuration and all. Okay. We are going to do all the configuration. Oh, I just have a pet rule, so I don't think so I can able to show you the session detail. Let's do one thing. I'll go here on my inside test PC. Don't worry. Okay. I am just initiating some traffic so you can able to see the session information. What are the things we are having? This is my firewall. So command to check the session is show session all. And here you can see there are two sessions will be there for IPsec and for IKE. Because my IPsec VPN is configured. That is the reason. But what I wanted to do, this is my test PC. From this test PC, let me just try to initiate one traffic 10.60.2.101. I will try to take the SHS. CMD, let me just, yeah, I got username VMware. So I'm accessing one of the server on the DMZ VMware. I have the access of that server. Now, if you will go this time in your firewall, if you run this command show session all, it will basically show you all the session. And you can see there is a one more session we can see with the SHS. That session is set by the test PC 10.60.1.70. This is the source IP. Destination IP is 10.62.101. Source port 2775. Destination port 22 for SHS. Source zone inside layer 3 protocol number is 6, which is TCP. Destination zone is DMZ. Destination port is 22. Here generally you will get the information with regards to the net, but this traffic is not going through any of the net. That's why we have a same IP address and the same port number. If you want to see the more detail of this session, copy this session ID and run this command show session ID 3. Don't worry with the commands, we are running those commands in every day. Now if you will see what I have discussed in your connection in your stateful inspection. It used to have a session ID. So in our case, it's session ID 3. Then it has a two flow, client to server flow and server to client flow. And client to server flow, source is source IP address, destination IP address, source zone, layer 3 protocol number, source port, destination port. Those are the 6 tuples. Then we have a server to client flow. We have a source IP, destination IP, source port, layer 3 protocol number, source port, destination port. This is the client to server flow. Now, when my firewall receive those subsequent request and reply packets, apart from first packet, let's suppose this is the initial client and this is the server. Let's suppose this is packet number 5. This is packet number 6. This is packet number 7. Now tell me one thing. If I have received this packet number 5, then which flow key will match? It will match with this particular flow, server to client, or it will match with the client to server. So what do you have to tell here? This packet number 5 coming from where? Server going towards where? Server to client. So which one it will match? It will match this one. For packet number 6, who has initiated client? It is going towards server, client to server. So who will match? This one. So that's how match used to happen. Apart from that detail, guys, it also have a when it has installed that session timeout. So we will discuss all those details in deep. Don't worry. How many bytes we have exchanged between client to server, server to client, how many layer 7 packets we have exchanged, which virtual system it has processed the packet, what is the application, rule, IPsec data traffic, this is the rule who has processed this packet. Okay, multiple things are there and we will explore everything because guys, this is the command which I am going to run every day in your each and every class, even though it is also having your ingress interface and your egress interface. All that details is available. All the details is available. Okay, how we can make, we can do the filter and all, everything I will cover. Not now because this is too early to explain. Okay, so let me just discard this session. Now, let me move further. So this was the session detail. Now, let's try to understand some details with regards to the Palo Alto firewall. So, guys, or history about the Palo Alto networks. So, Palo Alto firewall basically introduced by the Persian called Nirzuk. As I have mentioned, he was an Israeli American, and Nirzuk is a developer of stateful inspection. And guys, let me tell you, when he has discovered this technology, stateful inspection, it has basically changed. It was a rapid change in the firewall industry with regards to the inspection behavior of the firewalls. It was a rapid change. And because of that technology only, firewall become very, very popular in the market. They got they gained the popularity in the market because of that particular feature. Okay, and this Palo Alto firewall, which is introduced by the Nirjok, so he has introduced in actually in 2005, and was the firewall who has a app identification, means this is the firewall where you can able to configure the rules on the application, like you can able to block the YouTube, you can able to block the Skype, you can able to block the Oracle, Google Talk, Google.com, Facebook. Tell me one thing, guys. Tell me one thing. Let's suppose I have a ASA, and this ASA firewall only able to handle the traffic on the basis of layer 3 and layer 4 information. Now, if I want to block the Facebook on ASA, how I can do that? What I will do, I have to block all public IPs of Facebook. Yes or no? And port numbers. Yes or no? We have to rely on the IP address and the port numbers. Now let's suppose Facebook have introduced some new IPs and new ports, because like Facebook is an individual organization, they can able to do that, right? They can able to do that, which means if we want to allow that particular traffic, or if we want to deny this particular traffic on the ASA, we have to rely only on the layer 3 and layer 4 information. But if there is any organization who is changing their layer 3 and layer 3 and layer 4 information, then how we can able to get control? So guys, previously if we want to block the Facebook or Zoom application or Teams application or Webex application, what we have to do, we have to add many IP address in our security objects or in our address objects group, many IPs. And if they will change the IPs, then we have to update that list again. But because of this firewall, this feature called app ID, now we are not relying on layer 3 and layer 4. Now we are reading the layer 7 information. We are reading the layer 7 information and we are identifying this traffic belongs to the Facebook And what we have to do, we are blocking the traffic now on the basis of layer 7. That was the very nice feature of Palo Alto. It has introduced, we can able to configure the security rules on the basis of users, not only on the source IP. Now we can define the source user because of this user ID feature. And it has also introduced the content ID, means we can able to block the traffic for virus, threats, vulnerabilities, file blocking, URL filtering. Those type of configuration is also available just in single box, means app ID, user ID, content ID. Means Palo Alto is the firewall who has a, where we can able to control the traffic on the basis of layer 3, layer 4, layer 7, on the basis of user ID, all those particular things. What was the Cisco market strategy during this particular duration? Cisco ASA, it used to block the traffic only on the basis of layer 3 and layer 4. If you want a feature like virus protection, spyware protection, vulnerability protection, then what do you have to do? From Cisco, you have to purchase the IPS box. You have to purchase the IPS box. If you want to basically configure the file blocking, or you want a protection from malware, then you have to purchase a one more solution from Cisco, which is AMP, advanced malware protection. If you want to configure the URL filtering in your firewall, then you have to purchase one more solution from Cisco, which is WSA or Iron Port. And during that time, guys, in 90s, in like 2000, that was the time where Cisco was the market leader. It have captured almost all everything in the routing, switching, and the security domain. But when Palo Alto introduced all those features just in one box, within just 3 years of time, in 2008, it became the market leader. And if you will see, according to the Gartner report, since then till today, Palo Alto is the market leader in the firewall industry. So Palo Alto is the market leader, and after that we have a Fortinet, then we have a Checkpoint, and after that we have a Cisco. So those are the four OEM, I can say, or four organizations or four firewalls, which is in the market leader list, according to the Gartner report. Apart from that, then they have a Forcepoint, Huawei, Sophos, Juniper Network, Barracuda, right? WatchGuard, SonicWall. Multiple firewalls are there, but they are in the either in the challengers, either in the nice players, either in the visionary section. But those four is the market leader where Palo Alto is leading the industry. So that was the some details with regards to the Palo Alto firewall. Now, how basically, okay, that I have not explained this stages, guys. Do you want me to explain those TCP stages? I think not required. You can learn might be I will include later. Okay, like this is just a how TCP handshake used to happen. They will send SYN, we will receive SYN plus ACK. Then when we will send SYN at the client, and it is in sent state. Initially server at the listening state, then it has changed that state from listening to SYN received. Then it will send SYN plus ACK. Then he will send ACK. When he will send the ACK, he will mention as established. Here is also established. So that's how basically they used to create a TCP three-way handshake. This is the termination one. So I'll cover those things later when we will discuss security policies and all. Okay, that time just remind me if I will forget to explain you the TCP states. Right now I'm just skipping because not required now. How basically they will put how that particular name. So they have provided the name to this device as Palo Alto because Palo Alto is a city in the California San Francisco way. area in USA. So according to that city, they have basically give that name to the firewalls as a Palo Alto Networks. PA, Palo Alto is a USA multinational cybersecurity company. They have a headquarters in California. Palo Alto Networks was founded in 2005 by Israeli American Nirzuk. Nirzuk is the former engineer from the Checkpoint and Netscreen Technologies. Palo Alto having world-class team with strong security and networking experience. Main component of Palo Alto firewall are the app ID, user ID, content ID. These features builds the Palo Alto a next generation firewall. So you know Palo Alto is a next generation firewall, just remember. And we will discuss what is next generation firewall and what is legacy firewall, don't worry. That identify and control more than 4,000 applications, and Palo Alto Network is a global footprint presence in 50 plus countries, and they have a 24 by 7 tech support as well if required. Palo Alto Next Generation Firewalls named as a Gartner Cool vendor in the year 2008. Former Google executive Nikesh Arora joined the company. So right now Nikesh Arora is the CEO of this Palo Alto Networks as a chairman and CEO since 2008. Palo Alto has been named leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant firewalls 8 times in a row. So that are the architecture and the stuff we will discuss now. Now guys, let me just give you some product portfolio which is offered by the Palo Alto Networks. Okay. What are the product which is offered by the Palo Alto Network? Let's just try to understand those stuff. So, you know, this Palo Alto Networks basically it offers majorly three type of solutions. It has majorly three type of solution. First focus of Palo Alto Networks organization is to provide the to secure your enterprise. To secure your enterprise network, they have a strata division. They have a strata division. This strata division includes your NGFW next generation firewalls, which is Palo Alto plus Panorama. So in strata, we have a Palo Alto firewalls and we have a Panorama. And you know, to secure the enterprise means we can able to deploy the Palo Alto into your data centers. We can put Palo Alto at the parameter level, at the internet parameter, like as a DIA firewall, direct internet access. We can deploy at your branch office and also at the mobile locations. We can deploy at your in your telecom domain, like when we have a where we have a telecom DCs for 5G and IoT related stuff. And for the endpoint, which is your test PC, if you want to put some security, like if you want inspection for your end users, then we need to deploy the devices from the Strata portfolio, which is next generation firewalls and Panorama. To provide the security at the cloud or to secure the cloud, Palo Alto have a division called Prisma. This is the division to secure your cloud application. Okay. So in Prisma, basically they have majorly two solution. Prisma Access and they have a Prisma SD-WAN. Now this SD-WAN basically they have it provide it will take care of your routing. What it will take care of your routing at the WAN levels. And your Prisma Access will take care of the security part, means you can able to configure your security rules, app ID based rules, content ID based rule for your cloud application. Okay. So to secure the cloud, Palo Alto have a division called Prisma. So secure access, SaaS application protection, and public cloud. So if you want to protect the application, then you have to go with the Prisma solution if you have anything into the cloud environment. And after that, the third solution is secure the future. which is your cloud-based logging solution. Cloud-based logging solution means, see, how we can secure the feature means by storing our logs, because we need logs for the analysis purpose. What we have to, we need the logs for the analysis purpose. For that, they have a cortex division. So we have a cortex division where what you will get the detection and response, automation and orchestration, network traffic and behavior analysis, and threat intelligence. Those are the four main features offered by the Cortex. It is a logging solution where you can is able to store heavily logs into the Palo Alto cloud for 10 years, 20 years, 50 years time frame. So those are the three solutions which is basically offered by the Palo Alto Firewall. Now, to secure the enterprise, basically what we have? We have a next generation firewalls. And nowadays, guys, whatever the latest Palo Alto series we are having, like 3400 series, 1400 series, 400 series, 5400 series, or your 7000 series appliance. Those are the new generation firewall, or those are the third generation firewalls. In those firewalls, they have also enabled the machine learning. They are powered with the machine learning. They are the ML powered next generation devices, the foundation of the Palo Alto network security operating platforms. Panorama will offers you the centralized management and the logging. From one location or from one device, you can able to control your thousand of devices which you have deployed across your thousands of locations across the globe. They will also offers the wildfire solution where you can able to do the and the malware detection and the protection from the newly introduced malwares or the unknown threats. It will detect and will prevent. Wildfire solution. Then we have a global protect for configuring the remote access VPN. Extend your enterprise perimeters to your remote office and mobile users by introducing the remote access VPN by using the global protect. Then obviously the Prisma access provides the SD-WAN based secure access to the cloud from the remote sites and for mobile users globally and without compromising the user's experience. So those are the, so like you can also use Prisma access as well, where you can also connect your end user's machine. You can connect your Prisma access with your firewalls, with your head office, your branch, with your headquarters location using the IPsec VPN for providing the connectivity. And to secure the cloud, we have a Prisma Cloud and we have a Prisma SaaS solution. Prisma Cloud provides the continuous security monitoring, compliance validation, and cloud storage security capabilities across multi-cloud environments. Prisma SaaS brings the data protection, governance, compliance together to safely enable the SaaS application adoption. And to secure the future, we have a Cortex data lake where we can store the logs, Cortex XDR and Cortex XOR. Cortex Data Lake provides the cloud-based centralized storage and aggregation of your enterprise security data. Means it is just a logging service where you can able to store your logs. Cortex XDR, what it used to do, it will basically it will basically analyze those logs and it will basically prevent from malwares, block exploits, analyze the suspicious patterns through the behavioral threat protection. Then Viva Cortex XOR enables security teams to accelerate response across people, process, and technology. So those are the majorly three product portfolio or product portfolio from the Palo Alto perspective, from the Palo Alto organization perspective. Now, guys, now let me introduce three new terms. Let's try to understand the PanOS. So PanOS stand for Panorama Operating System. PanOS stand for Panorama Operating System. I will introduce the Palo Alto hardware firewalls and the Palo Alto virtual machines, so virtual firewalls. Okay. Now, let me just introduce the PanOS. What is PanOS? Here we have a list of virtual firewalls. So guys, just remember in your Palo Alto firewall. Now tell me one thing. Let's suppose you have your PC. What is your PC? PC have some hardware? Yes or no? At hardware, we have a CPU, we have a RAM, we have a SSD, right? We have a NIC card, we have a fan. That is the hardware. Now, on top of this hardware, let's suppose you want to use Windows, then you have to basically you have to install the operating system, right? You have to install the operating system. It is Windows operating system. If you want to use the Linux, then you can install the Ubuntu Linux operating system, Kali Linux operating system, right? Fedora operating system. You can install any Linux operating system. If you want to run a ESXi, then you can install ESXi operating system from VMware on those particular hardware. Similar to this concept, in your Palo Alto firewalls, like your 7000 series box or 4000 series box, any hardware CDs or any virtual series, they need an operating system. They need an operating system, and when we have an operating system, then only user able to interact with the hardware, right? So operating system provides you the interface to interact with the hardware now. So this operating system which we use to install in your Palo Alto devices is known as PanOS. Palo Alto Networks Operating System. PanOS is the name of Palo Alto operating system. Somebody has asked that question like what is PanOS? Now I think you got the point. PanOS is the Palo Alto operating system which we runs in your Palo Alto devices, in your Panorama devices. Now, how Palo Alto build this operating system? Now let's try to understand that. So what Palo Alto have done? They have basically taken out the BSD Linux. There is a one Linux flavor which is BSD Linux. They have taken this BSD Linux. It is an open source Linux platform. BSD Linux is a open source. It is a open source. So what they have done? They have basically removed some programs from the BSD Linux, or they have removed some source file or some source code from the BSD Linux, means they have done some customization according to their requirement. They have done some customization on the BSD Linux. And after doing some customization, what they have added the extra source files or extra source code of your of the operating system, or in shorthand, they have basically added the pen application. Whatever the pen application they have, whatever these source code they have for the Palo Alto devices, the extra thing they have basically added on this customized BSD Linux. Now, this entire thing is your PanOS. Entire stuff is known as PanOS. So, guys, in backend, because in backend, Palo Alto devices uses the Linux only. So, kernel of your Palo Alto devices is based on Linux only. Now, guys, tell me one thing. Who has basically done some work on the Linux? In Linux, if I want to start the web services, then I have to run the Apache service. Yes or no? On my Linux, if I want to run the SHS, then I have to start the SSHD service, right? If I want to run the if I want to run the NTP service on my Linux, then I have to run the NTPD. Those are the processes I have to run. SSH daemon, NTP daemon, Apache daemon, or HTTP daemon, HTTPD, that process. So guys, similar to the Linux processes, in your pan OS also, we have those processes because in backend, my Palo Alto firewall is the Linux only. What is the process we are having in your Windows? Let me open this Windows services. Those are the processes in your Windows, guys. Those are the processes in your Windows. To run a window, to run Palo Alto Global Protect, to run a Global Protect in your PC, you have to run this pan GPS service. You have to run this pan GPS service. Like that, we have a different services you can check on my Windows machine as well. Similar to these particular processes, that particular firewall, it also have a process. If you run this command, so software, so system software status. Those are the processes you can see. Those are the processes here. sysd, we can able to take the SSH because SSHD process is running. We can able to configure SNMP because SNMPD process is running. Those are the processes. Those are the processes because in backend, your Palo Alto firewall is just a Linux only. In backend, Palo Alto firewall just a Linux only. Now, let me come again here. So your Palo Alto operating system is a customized version of BSD Linux. On top of this BSD Linux, they have installed the Pen application and the entire thing is known as PenOS. The latest Palo Alto operating system is 11.2.x. X means anything. 11.2.1, 11.2.2, 11.2.3, anything. This is the latest version of Palo Alto operating system. But in our practicals, we will use 11.1.6H3. Why we will use this version? Because this is the most stable and preferred version. This is the most stable and preferred version. Even though on my firewall currently, if I'll go on my device tab, I can go on the software tab here. Just wait here. Let me also log in on this box. I will explain all those steps as well, don't worry. Okay. Wait here. It will load all the operating system which are available right now. So right now you can see the latest version is 11.2.6, then they have 11.2.5, 11.2.4 H7, 11.2.4 H6, 11.2.4 H5, right? Then they have a 11.20, 11.2.0, then they have 11.2.0 H1, then they have 11.19, 11.18, 11.16 H4. See, right now in my device, currently I am using, where is the installed one? So when you will see this currently installed, you will able to see here. Oh, it is in 10 series. 11.1.6, I guess. This is the one which is running 11.1.6 H3 I'm running. Okay. Now, so guys, they have, see, multiple versions are there, you can see. So Palo Alto has introduced 6.0.0, then 7 series, then 7 series, then they have a 8 series. After that, they have a 9 series. Then they have a 10 series, then they have a 11 series. Right now we are at 11 series. Right now we are at 11 series. Okay. So those are the Palo Alto versions. Now let me tell you here something. Let me just 10, 11.2 point. I will just go in this way. So if you will see here, just observe. We have a 11.2.0. See the size of this image. 1167 MB. And you can see the release type. This is the base version. So each series, they have a base version. 11.1.0 is the base version for 11.1.0 series. 11.2.0 is the base version for 11.2.0 series. Base version means this is the base code. Without this particular version, you cannot able to run any of the versions from that particular series. This is the main source code. This is the main source code. And after that, you can see 11.2.1, 11.2.1H1, 11.2.2H1. Those are the subsequent releases. Those are the subsequent releases. Just remember that. Those are the subsequent releases. Now, let me also tell you one more thing with regards to the PAN-OS. If you have noticed, with regards to your PAN-OS, they used to basically have like 11.1.6 hyphen H3. What do you mean by that? This is known as version. This is known as PAN-OS version. Where 11.1, this is known as major version. 6 is known as minor version. When you have H, which means it's a hot fix, because each version have some vulnerabilities. So sometimes you will get that vulnerability fixed with the hot fix. Sometimes you will get that vulnerability fixed in the subsequent version like 11.1.7, maybe 11.1.8, like that. So if you will see the PAN-OS, then 11.1 is the main major version, 6 is the minor version, and S6 is the hot fix. So you should know all those stuff. Now, This is the some detail, guys, with regards to your Palo Alto versions. Now let's try to understand some details with regards to the Palo Alto hardware appliance. So in Palo Alto basically it has a three type of appliances. First type of appliance is known as the physical appliance or the physical firewall or the physical appliance. Then the second type of appliance is the virtual appliance, which we have to install into the virtual environment like your VMware, like your Google Cloud, Amazon Cloud. Those are the virtual appliance. Then we have a CN series devices. Those are the appliance which we used to run as a Docker images. Nowadays, you can see we have a very popular technology like Docker and Kubernetes. So those are the CN series appliance which we used to run into the Kubernetes environment just to protect the application which we are running within that Kubernetes clusters. So they have introduced those CN series appliances. Now, in your physical appliances, basically, they have a 200 series, 800 series, 3200 series, 5200 series, 7000 series. Those are the hardware appliance from the firewall perspective. But here I also wanted to introduce few more details. Let me just introduce that details here. First generation firewalls. Here we will cover all the first generation devices. Mm, okay, let me just put here. Now in the first generation list, basically we have a PA 200 series. In 200 series, majorly we have a PA 220 and we have a PA 220R. Those are the two boxes we are having into this particular series. Then Palo Alto have one more series, which is your PA 2000 series. Then they have a Palo Alto 3000 series. Then we have a Palo Alto 5000 series. In 5000 series, we have like PA 5010, PA 5020. Then we have a PA 5030. Those are the main series we have into this particular series. Then here we have a PA 3010, PA 3020, PA 3030. Those are the some boxes we are having into 3000 series. Then we have a PA 2010, PA 2020. Those are the hardware appliance we are having from the Palo Alto into first generation boxes. So when Palo Alto have introduced in 2010, those was the series, or those are the hardware appliance which is introduced by the Palo Alto firewall. Those are the first generation boxes. Okay, now let's try to understand the second generation boxes. In the second generation, basically, They have introduced again. So in second generation box also they have continued. This PA200 series was there again into this particular PA220 and PA220R. Those, that box will be there. Then they have, instead of 200 series, sorry, instead of 2000 series, now they have introduced new series which is 8000. Sorry, 800. In 800 they have 810 PA, 820 PA, 850. They have into 800 series those particular boxes. Then they have a PA 3200 series where they have Palo Alto 3210 PA, 3220, then PA 32, 32 I think 50 is there, and PA 3260 is also there. You don't need to recall all those names. Okay, just you have to remember the series. That's it. Then we have a PA 5200 series. So instead of 5000 series, they have introduced 5200 series where they have a Palo Alto 5210 PA 5220, then PA 5260. Those are the 5200 series, and obviously they have one more series here which is 7000 series. Those are the second generation boxes. Right now Palo Alto is at third generation. Right now we are at third generation. So let's try to put the name of the device at the third generation. And I am just copying this entire list. In these third generation boxes, instead of Palo Alto 200 series, they have introduced 400 series, where they have introduced PA 410, PA 420, PA 440. Instead of 800 series, they have introduced 1400 series, where they have a 1410, 1420, 1450. Instead of 3200 series, they have a 3400 series now. 34, 3460. Sorry. Instead of 5200, they have a 5400 series now. In 5410, 5420 PA, 5440 is there PA, 455 PA 5455 is there, and 5450 is also there. Because I'm mostly working with the 5400 series box, then obviously the 7000 series. So those are the three generation of those particular hardware appliances. Now, this particular generation is end of life, end of sale. It is end of life and end of sale. Second generation boxes is end of sale. They are not selling those boxes now, but end of life is not. There is a life. Still you can able to use those boxes, but those devices they will stop selling. And this third generation boxes, these are the boxes which they are basically selling right now. Right now their major focus to sell these third generation firewalls. If we have missed any of the series, always you can go, even though in my lab, I have one hardware firewall, which is PF440. And this is my virtual firewall, which is I'm running on VM. And I always used to have a VM 300. I don't run small VMs. I always run little bit big VMs like VM 300. This is my hardware appliance, which is PF440. Now let's try to go here, type a Palo Alto hardware appliance. Go into this link. And there is also one more very popular website I have, which is Palo Alto Guard. Go into this particular website as well. See, in 7000, they have a 750, 7500. That was the series I wanted to mention here. And instead of 7000, now they have a 7050. If you will click on this, here you can able to get the details about that particular box. 75,000 series, they have a 7000 series. You can read the data sheet here. If you want to read the data sheet, you can able to read that this data sheet. Here also you can able to get the same details, 7,000 series. Hardware, view the hardware architecture. So here you can able to get the hardware architecture as well. If you want to get the hardware architecture for 7500 series, click over there and you can able to see very nice architecture. I'll cover those architectures. Okay, we will discuss those architecture, how they have a connectivity, what is this network processing, security processing, SSD and all those stuff. Switching, backplane and all, everything we will cover. If you want to see the hardware architecture for 7000 series, you can check it out over there. 7000, check here. They used to have this type of offload engine, then security processing, the network processor, right? So we will discuss all those. That's not a problem. Then they have a 5400 series box, 7500 series, then 7000 series, a 5450 series, 5400 series, 3400 series, 1400 series, right? Then they have a 400 series, 400R is also there. Those are the different series they are having. You can able to check the details. So always we have to refer those particular documentation if we want to check the details with regards to the hardware appliance. Okay. I always like to refer this website because here you will get the details in very streamlined way. See, you can click on this 750. It will open a page for you here. You can get the details. Here you can able to read some details. Networking feature, architecture you can read. So those are the two boxes they are having, and you can see those are the high-end boxes for data centers. Those box we used to have in the data center. Specification you can check. Those are the specification, input, output, management, input, output, power supply. All those details will be there. Pricing, you can also send the request for the pricing. If you want a documentation, you can open this PDF. It will open one document. You can able to read that particular official document as well from the Palo Alto with regards to that device. Now what you have to remember, you just need to remember the series, and whenever basically you want to read anything, you can just refer that series data path. Okay, so like we have a 750 series, PA 750 100 series, then see In 7000 series, they have a 7050 and 7080. Those are the two boxes they are having. Okay, so let me also introduce here those stuff. PA 7050 and PA 7080. 7050 and 7080. In 5400 series, they have a 5410, 20, 30, 40, 45, and 5450. We've introduced that as well. 10, 20, I have not put here 30, PA 5430. In 3400 series, you can see 3440, 30, 20, 10. So they have a 30, 10, 20, 30, and 40. Those are the 3400 series. Now in 1400, 1410, 1420. So we have a 1410, 1420, 1410 R, PA, 1410 and 1420 is only there. Then they have a 400C, which is 410, 410R, 410R 5G, 415, 40, 45, 50, multiple series they have with regards to the 400 series. So if I will put here 410 PA, 410 R, I will tell you what is this R. Then they have a PA 415. Then they have a 15 5G, then 440, 445. Then they have a 440 PA 450, and they have a PA 460. Those are the major series basically. Now guys, remember one thing. This 400 series and your 1400 series, that those series we use for the small business units, where we have a very less traffic, like in your branch office. Where we have a very less traffic, in those environments we will deploy Palo Alto 400 and Palo Alto 1400. In second generation, PA 200 and PA 800. 200 and 2000 for small business units. This 3400 series or 3200 series box we used to deploy for the medium sized organization. Medium size organization where we have a some high traffic, not very high, but some high traffic, like in your HQ headquarters, like in your HQ headquarters, or like in your DIA, direct internet access devices. There we have to deploy 3400 series or either 3200 series boxes. Then we have a 5400 and 75 and 7000 and 5200 series box. Those boxes we have to deploy at the data centers at your DC level. At the DC level, because those box they have a very high throughput. They have a very high throughput, guys. Okay. Let me open. I was looking for old devices, old series where, okay, they have, those are the legacy ones like PA 200, 220R. Oh, PA 500 is also there. And it was a, it is in that list. PF 500. Those are the very, very legacy box. 820, 850. So we have a 810, 820, 850. Then 30 to 20, 30 to 50, 30 to 60, right? 30 to 10, 30 to 10, 30 to 20, all those, right? 20. Then they have a 3200 series, 22, 50, 60, 5020, 5050, 5060, right? So those are the basically, then 50 to 80 is also there. Let me just mention this as well, because in some of the data center environment, you will see 50 to 80 PA 50 to 80. Though that particular first generation box you will never see anywhere. Those series is not there. Those are still there. Those are the 7000 series. 7000 basically. Complete list of legacy product. You can click here. You will get the complete list. Here you will able to see complete list. Even though here you will also see the complete list of your devices. Okay. And even though see this PF 850 and 3200, they like 30 to 20 they have removed and they have introduced that particular series. 34 3410 they have introduced and they have removed these two boxes, and instead of these two boxes they have introduced this box, right? So those type of comparison also you can able to do. Let me share that link as well to you, and also let me update that link here. And so guys, this particular text file I will give you, don't worry, so you will get everything. Let me also copy this as well. So you should have that particular details. Okay, so Palo Guard is a very nice website for that. I'm not sure why what Palo Alto have done, even though previously we used to see all the details just in one place, all the hardware appliance, but they have basically put it like that now. They have put it like that now. So it used to create some confusion as well. But this is the list of all the hardware appliance. Okay, all the hardware appliance. Now, apart from those hardware appliance, let's suppose you want to know about one of the hardware appliance. Let's say you want to know regarding the Palo Alto 5440. So what you have to type? You have to type PA 5440. Just type data sheet. You will get the data sheet details here. You can download this data sheet and read the information. Generally, this is the data sheet where you will see everything. But if you want to check like PA440 front panel, you will see the front panel, back panel. Now here you will able to see the front panel. What is the details? Like it has some copper ports, then fiber ports, QSFP ports, again some fiber ports. Then those are your HA ports. This is your this is your management port. This is USB port. This is the type C port basically, right? Those are the 40 GB port. Those are the 25 GB ports. Those are the I think 10 GB links, and those are the 1 GB to 10 GB links. How you can able to basically, how I know all those details? Because I have read that information multiple times here. See, port number starting from 1 to 8. They are the RJ45. They have a support for 128, which means those ones. RJ45 10 Mbps, 100 Mbps, and 1 GPS link. So those are, they can support up to 10 GPS as well, from 10 MB till 10 GB. That is the support of those interfaces. Now from 9 to 20, these ones 9 to 20, those are the SFP plus ports. They have a speed from 1 Gbps to 10 Gbps. Then port number is starting from 21 to 24. Those ones 21 to 24. They have a SFP 28, and those are the 25 gig links. They can also work as a 25 gig links. You can also use as a 1 GPS. If you will put 1 GPS, 1 Gbps SFP, then you can, they will work as a 1 GB link. If you will put a module of 10 Gbps SFP, then they will work as a 10 Gbps of link. Then we have a QSFP ports starting from 25 to 48. Those ones. They will support around 40 GB to 100 Gbps. Okay. So here you can able to read everything. 25, 26, 27, 28 will become 41. 29, 30, 31, 32 become 42. So means those four ports you can able to combine. Those four ports you can combine, those ports you can combine. So you have to use those type of SFPs modules. Then it has a HSCI port. It has a HA1 and HA1 backup ports, management port, console port. So USB port, console port for micro USB, LED stator, system driven modules. So those are the details. That's how we will read the information with regards to that particular device. You can check the back panel as well. In back side, you have a power supply, you have fan assemblies. So we have a generally two power supply one and two power supply two. ESD, ground stud, those are the stuff we have into back side as well. Generally, most of the time we used to check into the front panel. So that's how guys we will able to read the information of your hardware appliance, the particular hardware appliance information we will read from here only. Okay, now it will take around 10-15 minutes more guys. Okay, let me just complete. Apart from those hardware appliance, now we do have virtual appliance. Now those are the VM series firewalls. So those are the virtual appliance like VM 700, VM 500, VM 300, VM 100, and VM 50. Those are the VMs which basically we can able to run into your virtualized environment, like in your hypervisors, like your VMware, in your VMware workstation, we can able to run in your VMware ESXi. On top of VMware ESXi, we can able to run. Same, we can also able to run on the KVM environment, like on OpenStack. That is also one of the virtual environment. We can run on the hypervisor, on the Hyper-V, which is a Microsoft virtualized hypervisor. Now, the same images we can also able to run on AWS cloud, on Azure cloud, on your GCP cloud, on your Oracle cloud, on your Alibaba cloud. Those are the images we used to run into those particular clouds as well. Those virtual appliance, we do have a VM series appliance as well for those cloud environments. And guys, there is a different flavors which is created by the Palo Alto firewall. Like for AWS, they have a different VM image. For Azure, they have a different VM image. For GCP, they have a different VM image. For Oracle, different VM image. For Alibaba, different VM image. For VMware, EXI and Workstation, they have a different image. For KVM environment, they have a different image. For Hyper-V, they have a different image. So different type of VM images they have created for different hypervisors. Just remember. The major difference between your hardware appliance and the virtual appliance is throughput. Your hardware appliance has a high throughput, means your hardware appliance can able to process the data in GBs, like 10 GB, 20 GB, 100 GB just in 1 second. But your VM series appliance, they just have a less throughput, some in Mbps, some in Gbps, but up to 16 Gbps only. But if you will use the threat prevention, then only 8 Gbps. Okay. So the major difference between VM series appliance and the hardware appliance is the throughput. And this VM series appliance we have to run into our virtual environment or either into the our cloud environment for protecting our applications which we are running into your virtual environment or into your cloud environment. Those firewalls we used to run into our data centers to protect our servers which we are running behind those particular firewalls. Apart from those VM series firewalls, now they have a CN series firewalls as well. CN series firewall is also known as container native series firewalls. CN series provides visibility and security to containerized application workload, means the application which we are running on the Kubernetes clusters, Docker cluster, natively integrates into the Kubernetes clusters, provide layer 7 visibility, application level segregation or segmentation, DNS security, advanced threat protection for the application which we are running on your Kubernetes cluster. Protect traffic across trusted zones in the public cloud or the data center environments. So those are the CN series devices. Those are the majorly three type of devices we are having from the Palo Alto firewall. Those are the three series we are having from the higher hardware perspective, VM perspective, or the CN series perspective. Now, in your tomorrow class, I'll start my discussion with the SP3 architecture. Let's see how much we can able to complete tomorrow. So guys, I'm stopping here for today.